You know why doing things like cutting out sugar or changing your eating habits aren't easy to stick to? It's because they're not a quick short-term fix. I have gone a week without sugar. I'm into week 2 and I am exhausted. I feel hungry. The food cravings in general are starting to really kick in and I'm hungry. I feel like I'm starving. Like,
Oh God!
I'm sorry.
No.
hello and welcome back to the channel. So this week I'm going to work on reintroducing certain foods that I haven't been eating throughout this whole me having Crohn's thing. I've been drinking smoothies, which you know, which I can incorporate pretty much anything in a smoothie and tolerate it just fine, but I don't want to live my life eating smoothies. Or drinking smoothies. Well, anyway, so my butter's gone. Okay. I'm making a grilled cheese sandwich, and yes, I'm eating yeast. I had a struggle there last week, not last week, but the tail end of the first week of cutting out sugar. I was starving to the point where I come home and feel like I was gonna pass out, and eating, like some raisins and stuff didn't help it. Eating some chips wasn't helping. So I caved and started eating yeast again because I don't know what to eat for lunches. Shock, surprise, as a dietitian, as a coach, I don't know what to feed myself. This is me figuring it out, and I'm willing to admit that I'm still trying to figure it out. I mean, we're all individual. We need to figure out what works best for us, right? So like one thing that can work for you isn't gonna work for me. So I'm still working on that. So anyway, I gotta add in ginger into my day. I'm gonna start adding ginger in as probably steeping it and making like a ginger tea. I also want to try this week bok choy and zucchini. I have had zucchini on and off and been okay, but I have not been eating it regularly. So things have not been great since the quitting sugar video. I quit sugar for about a week and a half, and I was eating, like I said, under 100 calories of sugar a day, which is the AHA, American Heart Association recommendation. And when I, got to a point where I was like, okay, I want a little bit more than just whatever added sugar is in a yogurt or something like that. I ended up eating a couple of Hershey Kisses because I was like, okay, this fits into the 100 calories a day kind of thing, so I can have a couple of Hershey Kisses. Well, a couple of Hershey Kisses turned into a couple more Hershey Kisses, and then it was, well, I really want sweetened coffee. Butter pecan just came out of Dunkin'. I was like, I'm gonna get myself some of that, and so then that became my so then the sweetened coffee at Dunkin' became my portion of sugar for the day. And then it was like, well, I started my day with sugar, and then the afternoon cravings for sugar hit, and it's like, oh God, now what am I gonna do? I want sugar in the afternoon. And then I ate like Cheetos or something, trying not to eat sugar, and it's like, well, that's not better. Then my stomach started hurting, so then I ate sugar. Long story short, I failed. And so I started eating sugar again, and then I went hog wild on it and ate nothing but sugar and crackers and cookies and chips and all that junk, and then I started to feel really down about myself, and I hit my luteal phase, and I got really sad and upset and hated my life and feel like I'm not going anywhere. It was a whole thing, right? So now, as of yesterday, I had a revelation, and I feel 10 times better, which could be partly hormone fluctuations, but I am ready to make the biggest diet change of my life. All right, I'm about to go into my doctor's office. This is my primary care physician, and my normal nurse practitioner I see isn't available, so I'm seeing somebody new. But there's a couple of things I want done. I'm going to ask for some nutrient deficiency tests, calcium, vitamin D, zinc, and I think folate. So those 4 tests I'm going to get done because vitamin D and zinc have such an extreme function in the immune system and tend to be very deficient in Crohn's patients. My plan is to completely stop the Humira. I'm not fully in remission, but I think Humira it helped with the symptoms I had before, but now I have new, worse symptoms. So I'm just going to go cold turkey and do the diet thing. Right now I'm thinking I'm eliminating gluten, most dairy. I may not be able to tolerate dairy right now because I think the inflammation's now in that area where dairy is absorbed and you have the lactose issue, so I'm developing lactose intolerance because of the inflammation. which I haven't had up to this point in my disease. So probably eliminate dairy. The hardest part for me with that is going to be coffee, because I love half and half of my coffee, and I've tried alternatives and they're not as good. And then, you know, most of the like almond milk alternatives on the market right now are like the creamers have sugar in them, so that's a no-go. So no sugar, no processed foods, no inflammatory oils, no gluten, no dairy. So my grain carbohydrate sources: almond flour, oats and oat flour, rice. That's pretty much it right now. Give it a good solid healing recovery thing. I need to add omega-3s, get the vitamin D that I need. So I'll probably be adding a supplement, and trying to eat fish twice a week. I'm not a fish person. I don't like fish all that much, but to heal, recover, we need to eat the healthy things, and I'll get used to it. So that's where I'm at right now. Getting those things. I have an appointment with my GI on Friday. I'm a bit nervous about that appointment because I'm going to tell her I'm stopping Humira, and she's not going to like it. She's going to want to put me on different meds. She may want to up my Humira. She's going to try to fight. I'm also going to fight her on the anti-Saccharomyces cerevisiae antibody. It's the yeast antibody that most Crohn's patients have. She's not willing to test me for it. So I was thinking about bringing her some literature and information on it. Because if you really think about it, celiacs have IgA and IgG antibodies to gluten and gliadin. And the way that celiacs is treated is removing gluten and gliadin. Crohn's disease patients, most, not all, if you have ileal involvement, if you have a genetic predisposition, you are likely to have these antibodies. Crohn's disease patients have the ASCA, which is anti-Saccharomyces cerevisiae antibodies, IgG and IgA. Sounds exactly like celiacs, doesn't it? I mean, it's just different antibodies to different food groups. So baker's yeast, brewer's yeast, nutritional yeast. So that's what we'd have to avoid. So that is also on my no-go. And generally, if you're avoiding gluten, you're not likely getting those yeast consumption as much. But if you're following like a vegan diet and it adds nutritional yeast, you're going to be getting it there. So I don't recommend doing that. And then if you're like making like almond flour substitutes and it's adding active yeast, I've seen a lot of recipes online like that. Obviously you're getting the yeast there. So I highly recommend you avoid and eliminate. But I need the antibody testing done like immediately because I'm already cutting out yeast as of yesterday. So the longer you go without a food group, you know, your antibodies are going to be lower. So it's better to test while you're still eating that food. But now that I'm stopping, like I did my last Humira on Saturday, I'm kind of in a time crunch where I need to get the diet under control in order to stay as healthy as I am right now. So that's where I'm at. I'll update you as we go through this process. This world, man, you know, like the doctors and everybody says medicine's easier. Take medicine. It's so much easier than fixing your diet. You're not going to be able to eat healthy. How are you going to stick to that? Take your medicine. It's easier. The anxiety and the side effects are not easier than trying to eat healthier. Point one. Point two, I'm trying to get a new car. I'm getting a cheaper car so I can pay off debt, have a less monthly payment, and have a less debt towards the car, period, just so I can pay off all my debt, all the non-mortgage debts going out the window. I'm following the Dave Ramsey plan. I want to be out of debt. And of course my mom is like, oh, you'll never be out of debt. Oh, you always have a car payment. Oh, how are you doing that? That's stupid. You're going to have more repairs. You're going to be next. You're going to have yeah, it's probably going to be more work. It'll be overall cheaper. And yeah, it's possible to pay off debt. Millions of people have paid off debt. Anyway, well, the car dealership called and they're like, well, okay, here's your monthly, your $249 with powertrain warranty. And I'm like, I don't want the warranty. I don't want to pay interest for a warranty plan. That's so stupid. I did it with this car and I was like, why did I do that? For years after making that decision, I'm like, that's so stupid. Why would you pay interest on car repairs? For years, for like 6 years, you're paying interest on your car repair program. Don't do it. So I said no, and I'm like, I'd rather save up the money. He's like, well, can I ask you why? Like, I'd rather save up the money for the day that comes when I need repairs. I'll have the money in my bank and just pay for it. I'm not paying interest on repairs. And he was like, well, you know, it's easier to, you know, just finance the plan, which the plan doesn't cover all the repairs you need. It's easier to finance the plan because it's harder these days to save money. Just people just have a hard time with that. No, Sherlock. Of course people have a hard time saving money. Does it mean you don't try? you don't do it. Some people can. Some people can. Anyway, my doctor, my primary, thank God for her, she did order the anti-Saccharomyces. I have to go to the lab at the hospital to anti-Saccharomyces cerevisiae antibodies, and there's all my vitamin deficiencies that I'm getting tested. We're going to the hospital, and I don't know if they're going to know how to do this test, or if they can, they'll call her if that's an issue. So it's still on the fence whether or not I'm getting the test, but we're going to go in. We're about to try. I have a call at 12, so I'm going to try to get them drawn before that. Dude, it's so hard to fight the system, but we're doing it. We're going to make this work. Guys, come on. Come on, Zoe. Oh, yeah. I know. No, you gotta get in. We gotta go to the vet. Zoe, come on. Come on, you gotta get in. Come on, Zoe. Zoe, come on. Come on. I know. This is probably your last time ever getting in this thing because you're getting so big. And she doesn't like leash either. Okay. She doesn't like leash either, but we gotta go to the vet and have our shots. So I've been really bad about filming. It's been a few weeks since the last clip there, but yes, I am positive for the anti-Saccharomyces cerevisiae antibodies. So it's been a couple weeks where I've totally avoided eating yeast in my diet. And since then, I've realized that I've been bloated every single day and that SIBO could be a possibility. So as of this past Sunday, so it's only been like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 6 days. Today's day number 6 of severely restricting my carbohydrate intake to reduce the bloating. And the next day from doing it on Sunday, Monday morning, I felt immediately like so much better. It took until about Tuesday to feel completely normal, but since then I felt completely normal. So my GI is against testing me for SIBO. She doesn't want me to do the antibiotic because of the risk for C. diff and changing the microbiome, which honestly, that's what I'm after, is adjusting my microbiome because I have too much, but whatever. I have an MRE scheduled for about 2.5 weeks from now. So we'll see how I'm doing. I did stop my Humira. I'm not taking that. And I am being very strict with my diet. I am following a modified version of the SCD diet right now. So I've been eating eggs for breakfast, chicken for lunch and dinner, a couple pieces of dark chocolate every day, and Chex cereal and Cheerios with almond milk. So anyway, yeah, I want to leave this video here. I'm just waiting for the dog to come out from the vet. That's what I'm doing with my diet right now, and I will try to record more videos and keep you guys updated on the progress, how it goes coming off Humira and doing the SCD variation diet. Like I'm doing like gluten-free biscuits, that kind of thing. It's off the SCD. I might eat a potato, you know, that kind of stuff, rice, and moving towards a plant-based diet, which right now I'm not eating much fruits and vegetables. I do a fruit smoothie every day, which is like a half a cup of fruit, and then vegetables I'm doing just like last night I had a slice of red pepper cooked. It's like that small amount of vegetables, and moving up to hopefully a full-on plant-based diet with fish twice a week. So not like vegetarian, and meat once a week too, to get the vitamin B12 because there's yeast and B vitamins. So anyway, this video here, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful, and I look forward to speaking with you next time.